News was broke on there that Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans probably out for the season. Adam Schefter broke the news. Jay Glazer broke the news. Ian Rappaport broke the news. What we're hearing is a fifth metatarsal break on the foot, and that one's damning. They're saying and predicting he will be out for either the rest of the regular season with a possibility of coming back for the playoffs if they make it, or he's out just for the rest of the season regardless. They'll find out after surgery. It's a real shame that this happened to the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. This guy counts for like 79% of their offense or something like that.
Yeah.
He gets the ball. It's King Henry time. Yesterday, they just so happened to get their second win of this season against the Indianapolis Colts, which might be dead, and there's a lot to talk about in that entire thing. But Derrick Henry out, and maybe Adrian Peterson in.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Hey, you need a 36-year-old workhorse. You need a guy that was Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry. You need a guy that rushed for 2,000 yards or something like that in the quickest recovery of an ACL of all time. You need a guy just a couple years ago was the workhorse for the Detroit Lions, but the Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions and were maybe the most Detroit Lions have ever seen yesterday. This guy can still go. This guy still has it with that offensive line, that offensive scheme. They're going to have to continue to have a workhorse back somewhere. Maybe they'll have it running back by committee. Whatever the case, all eyes are on Tennessee. I think Ryan Tannehill would love to have like 2011, maybe 2012, Adrian Peterson. But after talking to Adrian Peterson, watching his workouts, it seems like he's not that far away from what he once was. Maybe he falls into a situation in Tennessee where he's back better than ever, or maybe the Tennessee Titans will make a trade. There's until tomorrow so 28 hours from now, the trade deadline happens. Teams will not be allowed to move players for the rest of this 17-game season if they don't make a move in the next 28 hours. Will the Titans, who rely so heavily on the running back, go and try to get a running back from another team? Maybe D'Ernest Johnson out of Cleveland, who came on the scene just a Thursday Night Football or two ago whenever Chubb and Hunt were both out. Also still on the Browns. Had a drop yesterday against the Steelers, some other thing, but he's obviously not going to get anywhere near the amount of reps that you would expect with two All-Pros in front of him, and maybe his trade value's a little higher than it was a couple weeks ago. Will they go Marlon Mack, maybe, out of the Indianapolis Colts? Allegedly, he's been on the trading block for like 2-3 weeks. Will the Colts trade within their division and just say, fuck it on the season because they lost again? They won't. Probably, if I had to guess. And I even floated the idea of Tony Pollard because of how good Tony Pollard is. Maybe the Titans would offer up something real nice for Tony Pollard in an NFC to Dallas, but Dallas Cowboys fans told me I had no idea what I was talking about, all right? Maybe Tony Pollard is a big part of the Dallas Cowboys offense. I understand that, but that is what trade value is for then. And if a team who relies so heavily on the running back who is now 6-2 or 5-2, definitely in the thick of it, they're going to try to go get a good running back from somewhere. What will they do? We'll have our eyes peeled on that situation. It has been certified Adrian Peterson, Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
Adrian Peterson quote tweeted an Ian Rappaport report that the Titans are signing free agent running back Adrian Peterson, putting him on the practice squad, then elevating him to the roster. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what that last part of the sentence means, but Adrian Peterson is now a member of the Tennessee Titans. They wanted a big boy back. Adrian Peterson, who's 36 years old, has been a stud his entire career. I think his body can still maintain the blows that they're going to ask for. 79% of the offense went through Derrick Henry. The fact that Adrian Peterson is still available, probably a godsend to that Tennessee Titans team. And now we just wait and see what Adrian Peterson this is, who basically told us that he ain't slowing down. It doesn't seem like he's slowing down at all, AJ.
This seemed to happen pretty quick, didn't it, to where they reached out to him. I'm sure he came in. They just wanted to probably check to make sure he's healthy and still in shape, and he probably blew him away in his workout. All right, here we go. Let's sign you. We're not letting you out the door because someone else might try to pick him up.
Vrabes probably has been asked so many times to describe Derrick Henry. And Vrabes, who played in the NFL at the same time as Adrian Peterson, he probably has answered before at some point, like, this is like back when Adrian Peterson was bigger, stronger, faster, and used to gallop his way through people and around people. It's just the modern day. Derrick's a little bit bigger. And then as soon as something happens to Derrick Henry, Vrabes like, fucking, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Can this guy still run? Because this is very quick. Because there was a lot of conversation about will they trade for somebody else on a team? Like Marlon Mack is allegedly available right now. I don't think the Colts would trade within their division, but they needed a guy. They needed somebody in the backfield. I'm not saying it wasn't already on the roster, and maybe they'll do this much more by committee as opposed to when Derrick Henry is there, who's getting paid $20 million, $30 million, whatever the case, whatever he's getting paid. But they have a guy who could potentially go. And Foxy, he was on the Lions, last year?
Last year, yeah.
And he was getting fed, right?
Getting fed. He got the ball a lot. He was great at the goal line. Always
600
in the end
yards
zone.
with them last year.
Scored 2 touchdowns on Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah. They should have gave it to him more, to be honest.
And was he just waiting for the situation to happen? Was he just training and waiting? He didn't want to go through training camp? Is that what potentially happened for him?
I think so.
How long will it take for Adrian Peterson to get back in shape? He's already in shape, right? That's kind of his thing, right? He's always in shape.
I mean, you could give him the ball 25 times this week. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. All day.
All day. And imagine,
What a good opportunity for him, though. Great spot, great opportunity. I think he can go there and thrive.
well, and they need him too. That offense is predicated off the run. They're gonna,
Yeah.
Now, granted, Tannehill might be able to be a guy, and you bring in Julio Jones, you bring in A.J. Brown. I'm assuming that they have some tight end that I'm not saying right now that is also a good pass catcher.
Ferkser.
Bingo. That's exactly who I was talking about.
use all three.
So I'm just saying that maybe they could still be an efficient offense. Defense, they've won games. Hey, the defense has won games much better than they were last year, I think. So I think they're getting better. But the fact that you if he's still a guy and he was just waiting for his opportunity, what a perfect situation for all day and a perfect situation for the Titans amidst this terribleness, obviously, with Derrick Henry.
I mean, how everyone else in their division's like, man, what are we going to do? We got to face Derrick Henry twice a year. Now they're going to pick up Adrian Peterson. They're hoping he lost a step. I doubt he has.
Yeah, it's
You're good. You don't have to face.
don't have to
Yeah,
worry about it.
yeah, good for us, dude.
Yeah.
Good for the Colts.